Hi, it's Jay Sung with the Marketing Minute. Over the last few months, I've been answering your direct-to-consumer questions that have been coming in. But today, I'm joined with a marketing leader from one of Brentwood Associates' portfolio companies, Cale Pritchett from Wondrium. How's it going, Cale?
Good. Thanks for having me, Jay.
Yeah,
Excited to talk all things marketing.
yeah, let's do it. Well, first off, Cale, maybe tell us a little bit about what you and your marketing department do at Wondrium.
Sure. So if you're not familiar with Wondrium, Wondrium is a digital and audio streaming platform that provides content that is focused on lifelong learning and personal enrichment. So think nonfiction courses, documentaries, classes, how-to skills, things of that nature. The company's been around for about 30 years, and me and my team are responsible for making sure the world knows about it, considers it, and gives it a try.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, Wondrium's been on this incredible journey over the last few years from a product and a marketing perspective. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that process that you've been on, that journey you've been on, and where you've been as a brand and kind of where you're headed.
Yeah, so the company is 30 years old. We've been producing nonfiction content in the forms of video courses for that time period. We used to sell on VHS tapes and then moved to DVDs. And then we hit the digital world where everything is streaming. We've done both audio and video. And last year, we started down the exercise of a rebrand. We saw out in the marketplace that while a lot of people like to fulfill their learning needs through video courses that are in depth and professor led, like we were known for, there was also lots of people that wanted to learn from other types of experiences, whether that be nonfiction, documentaries, and some of those skill based classes that I was talking about earlier. And we needed to rebrand and create a brand that was going to fulfill those needs. So we have started in late 2019, kicked off a rebrand process, and then we rolled out that rebrand in June of this year with what is now Wondrium.
Right, before it was the Great Courses Plus, right? I mean, very different kind of positioning from that standpoint.
You got it. The Great Courses Plus was our streaming service that housed the Great Courses content, and that's what we rebranded. So yeah, very, very different tone and feel to the name. We wanted to pick something that was more inviting and something that would represent a lot of diverse content experiences that we've been adding to the platform now, and we'll be continuing to add to it in the future.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it kind of couldn't have arrived at a more perfect time. I mean, this is the world of streaming, and OTT has been exploding. Where do you see Wondrium fitting in the world? You know, you've got all these different kinds of entertainment options that are really changing as cable gets reorganized. I mean, how do you view where Wondrium fits in all of that?
Yeah, it's competitive. It's a good time to do it because consumers have adapted so much to it, but it's also a very competitive time. There's so much out there in terms of content choice, both video and audio, and we play in both those fields. You've got the explosion of audiobooks and podcasts on one side, and then all of the streaming video platforms that are out there, both small and large. Our place in it is we really want to be the platform that's focused on bettering oneself. If you spend time on our platform watching content, we want you to come out of the other side knowing more about the world around you. Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's getting healthier through courses or classes on health and fitness and nutrition. Maybe it's a new skill for a career. But it's really focused on you as the individual. It's not just pure entertainment. There's lots of entertainment content out there. We wanted to create a platform that makes people a better version of themselves.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, tell me a bit about what do you see as the unique marketing challenges that you guys have at this point, and how are you going after them?
Yeah, for us, for a company that's been around for 30 years, a rebrand like this that has changed so much, one of the challenges is just how do you take this new brand that's got so much more content and position that in the marketplace in a way that's very focused and it's going to stand out for individuals. And you've been marketing a certain product a certain way for very long. That's a big change. So being willing to try things and fail fast and learn fast and pick up, but that's a challenge. Just managing around those things. It's a fun challenge. But it also can be mind-boggling because you create something that you think is going to work and you're really excited about it, and you take it out to consumers, and maybe they respond to it, maybe they don't, and you've got to be willing to set aside that ego, let the consumers tell you what they want to hear and what they want to respond to, and you've got to be able to adapt to that. So that's a challenge we're going through right now, having just rolled out this rebrand in the past few months. The other big challenge for us, I know this is impacting so many, is just the world that was in 2020 and how that impacted different businesses. All the events of 2020 impacted a lot of business in negative ways. I think about restaurants and retail, and then businesses like ours flourished with so many people stuck at home looking for video. Extremely flourished. People signing up for the platform, 10 times faster than what we were seeing before out of nowhere. That's a lot of success. Coming out of that, it's a different world. People are getting back out again. People are traveling. They're spending their money elsewhere. So having to adapt in a world that's got even more content to be competitive with, and in a world where consumers are just changing their behavior and where they're willing to spend money. Those are big challenges that we're tackling right now, like a lot of people in our industry.
Wow. Yeah. Something I always appreciate about the great courses or about Wondrium is your marketing department is extraordinarily sophisticated in terms of performance marketing. Maybe take us a little bit deeper into how you think about acquiring new customers and I guess the culture that's around driving that performance while also balancing the new brand.
Yeah. Performance marketing has been part of our company's DNA since it was founded. The company really grew selling VHS tapes and audio tapes and then DVDs in the mail through direct mail and going direct to consumers. In the past 10 years, we've started to distribute our content through other third parties. But before that, it was all direct to consumer. And because of that, we measured everything to a fairly well. I think anyone who's been around direct mail and big direct mail shops knows that. At one point, we were mailing 40, 50 million catalogs a year. And when you're mailing that much, you want to measure everything. Catalogs are expensive, and you want to make sure you're being efficient with those dollars. That mentality for us is carried over in a digital marketing world. We're still, every dollar that we want to put out there, we want to understand the impact that's making. So because of that legacy that came with us, we have systems that we put in place, and it does take a lot of work, a lot of data systems to be able to track what is happening. And that's exactly what we do. We've tried to, any and every advertisement we put out there, we try to come up with a way to be able to measure that. How many new free trial subscribers are signed up for Wondrium through that effort? What kind of CPAs are we getting for that? And then on the back end, at the user level, we're tracking how much they spend with us, so we can see the LTV for those users on the other side. So we have CPA to LTV ratios that we're looking at for all of our channels to understand what's working. And then we look at that every week, every month, and we try to adjust as the world adjusts to make sure we're spending our money in the right places.
That's terrific. Maybe you could touch on the world of content and just what put a lot of work into the expansion of content on the platform, and you talked about the evolution from being a course-based business to one that's more broad around overall nonfiction, better for you entertainment. What's gone into that?
Sure. That's been a journey for us. We're going to continue to make the coursework. The Great Courses is a brand that still exists. It will always exist. We didn't replace it. And you'll still be able to find that on the Wondrium platform. And we're still going to produce 30 to 40 of those courses every year because there is a place in the world for it. But we also wanted to complement that content with other things and things like documentaries and tutorial sort of works. If you go on our platform now, for us, that's been a fun experience, getting out, talking to third parties. It's not content that we own and that we're producing completely. We wanted to see what other nonfiction content was out there, so we had to adjust. We've worked with consultants and talked to a lot of people in the industry about where to go to license content and find content, and we've done a lot of content evaluation. I really can't express how many hours of content team members internally have watched over the past 12 months to figure out what's going to make the grade and what do we think is worthy to put on Wondrium to fulfill our new brand promise. So that's been fun, figuring that market out. It brings challenges of its own. Other people are involved and they want to get paid for their work also. So licensing is just a different model that we've had to get used to, because before we owned all of our content and we could monetize it however we wanted. So that's been different. Another way we've gone about it, similar to the direct marketing principles that we've grown up on, is using research to figure out what content that we want to make. We've always been one, hey, we've got lots of choices, lots of things we could create courses on or content or documentaries on. Which direction do we want to go? Money is not unlimited. Our attitude's always been, hey, let's just ask the consumers. So we invest a good bit in staff and resources and polling techniques to go out and ask folks what they want and let them direct us and prioritize us on what's going to get us the greatest returns and what kind of content people are interested in. And that's played a really key role in helping us figure out the type of content that we've added to our platform for rebrand and in the type of content that we're going to be adding to the platform in the future.
Awesome. Well, I sure hope that people check out Wondrium. I mean, I know that I find something really interesting on it every day, and it's at a minimum makes for a more interesting cocktail conversation, right?
Yeah, agreed. There's so many different things. I mean, a new piece of content that's coming out next week that we're really excited about is a documentary on 9/11. Right? We're coming up on the 20th anniversary for 9/11. I know for a lot of us, we all know where we were during those events and how that impacted us. And those around us. I watched the piece last week. This is a new documentary that we produced on our own. It's not something we licensed from somewhere else. We produced this in a partnership with Allison Gilbert and actually the 9/11 Memorial Museum in New York. And it focuses on the experiences of journalists during 9/11 and where they were during that day and how it impacted them. Journalists are the type of people that, in those events, a lot of people were running away in New York and they were running away in DC. And those journalists are a lot like first responders. They're running towards it because they need to get that story and then they want to inform the rest of it. So it's a really great 2-hour documentary. Great to get that perspective from journalists. And I'm really excited for people to see it because I think it really speaks to the type of content that we're going to be adding to the Wondrium platform in the future.
Wow, amazing. Well, thanks for your time today, Cale. It's Cale Pritchett from Wondrium.